WWE introducing a brand split of pay-per-views. Guys, we're going to talk about this in today's video, plus tons of major other news. So as always, I want to put the timestamps in the description down below. I want to kick things off with CM Punk. Obviously, a lot of people were talking about CM Punk. Depending on when you're watching this was all going down before WWE Raw. There was reports that, came from PW Insider that CM Punk was backstage. He was trying to talk to talent. He was trying to speak with Triple H. And now it seems like we actually got some clarification in terms of what actually went down. While speaking to the Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer and Brian Alvarez noted that a lot of people in WWE and AEW were surprised by CM Punk showing up backstage in WWE. There were also a lot of people in WWE that believe he was testing the waters. Meltzer says apparently he flew from Florida to Chicago on a flight with a lot of the talent. He talked to Paul Levesque. That was the main guy he talked to. People were very surprised on both ends. People were definitely surprised in WWE. They were definitely surprised in AEW. And then Meltzer goes on to say the feeling in WWE was that he was there because he wanted back. Whether that's true or not, I have no idea. There were talks of him going back shortly late last year, but he couldn't go because he was still under contract. My impression is that this is with Paul Levesque in charge and not Vince. My impression was that they didn't have any interest in him at the time. That's what Meltzer stated. Now, there was other things that were being said about CM Punk going back and making amends with some of the people he had issues with. It was said that he spoke with The Miz and tried to clear up some air with him. And then he even spoke briefly with Triple H, or wanted to speak briefly with Triple H. But then Triple H had reportedly asked Vince McMahon if that was okay. And then Vince McMahon had asked him to leave. Now, if this is all true as the way it was reported, then I'm going to say that there is nothing wrong with CM Punk whatsoever making amends with guys like Triple H and The Miz, especially because he definitely had his issues with them. But I'm also in the same belief that whatever is going on, this is CM Punk building up the hype for his return to AEW. Because again, CM Punk is now in the news. And now people are talking about CM Punk. And we're talking about CM Punk again and again and again. Now, had all of this happened before the news leaked that he was supposed to come back, to AEW for AEW Collision, then this would have been a great master plan, right? But we all know CM Punk is headed back to AEW. We all know that CM Punk is contracted to AEW. If he wants to clear the air, great. If he wants back in WWE, great. But guess what, guys? He is part of AEW, and that is not expected to change whatsoever. I mean, seriously, all of these reports, it just makes me think even more and more that I have been right this entire time about it all being a work. But nonetheless, it is CM Punk. We're going to continue talking about CM Punk. As much as we don't want to talk about CM Punk, he continues to stay in the headlines. But with that, I do want to be very, very clear. There is nothing wrong with CM Punk trying to make amends with the people he's had issues with, especially when right now we've been talking about reports that CM Punk is not allowed to talk to the elite. So again, I just think this is a chess play. This is a chess move, and that's what CM Punk is doing. But hey, we'll see what happens, right? Guys, I want to turn our attention to Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. I know before they won the tag team championship belts, we were talking about how there's so many great tag team matches that we can see with them holding the championship belts. And guys, now it appears that WWE is teasing some sort of breakup between the two. This is so absolutely mind-boggling, and it is a very tone-deaf move if WWE does follow suit with this. If you guys missed WWE Raw, Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, they're having their backstage segments. Kevin Owens is not happy about that, and they're already arguing. They're already having issues. Kevin Owens doesn't seem to like that. Listen, WWE revealed the new World Heavyweight Championship belt. We need to split those tag team titles. We need to do it ASAP. We need to get this brand split on track with the WWE draft. I'm expecting some major news here when it comes time to the draft. But guys, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, if they split up, I don't know how I feel about that. Of course, we have to let it play out. But my initial reaction is, please don't do it. Don't do it. You're a great tag team. We just had the Usos hold the belt for so damn long. Why go into another situation where the tag team division suffers? If you're Triple H, if you're Vince McMahon, if you're Bruce Pritchard, if you're Ari Emanuel from Endeavor, I don't care who it is. Whoever it is that is working with WWE right now needs to make it very clear that the tag team division needs to be back on track. You got to have those titles separated. And you know what? you got to start delivering on some of those big tag team matches and those big tag team storylines. We saw a massive storyline going into WrestleMania to main event the tag team championship belts, and now we're starting to see that the tag team champions are teasing a split. It just sits a little unwell with me. But of course, I'll let it play out. We'll see what happens. What do you guys think about that? Guys, grizzled young veterans, a.k.a. the Dyad, a.k.a. Schism, right? They're part of Schism. We know they requested their release. Well, now they took to Twitter yesterday letting us know that they have their request has been denied. And they both came out and said, hey, listen, guys, our contract ends in October. We'll see you then. I don't know. I still feel very weird about this. I think they're a hell of a tag team. We're talking about the tag team championships, possibly, the champions being split up. And I'm looking at this tag team division and I'm looking at NXT and I think they have such a great tag team division. And I'm just wondering, and I'm not trying to hate on WWE right now. I'm really just trying to criticize fairly. What is the point of having these great tag teams do things that don't make sense? The grizzled young veterans, especially when you look at SmackDown and look at all of the international talent on SmackDown. You see Sheamus, Ridge Holland, Butch, Gunther, Imperium, Sheamus, Drew McIntyre, all these guys, right? You see them all. And they're doing incredible stuff on TV. And I'm just thinking the grizzled young veterans could easily be put into that same equation. They can easily be put on main roster television. And I don't have anything against Schism, but I'm just thinking, is that why they want out? Are they creatively frustrated? We don't know the details, obviously, but they obviously don't want to be there. Isn't it possible to say, listen, grow back your beards, right? Let's go back to the old gimmick. Let's go back to that, put you on the main roster. Isn't that something that is possible? Would you want, I don't know, I can't speak for them, but I feel wouldn't that be a reason for them to want to stay if it meant getting a big push on the main roster away from this supernatural, I don't even know how to explain the Schism stuff, to be honest, but I just feel it would be a really enticing thing. So the fact is, WWE rejected the release. The question is why? Is it because they do want to utilize them? Is it because WWE does see the value in them? I don't know. But I look at this tag team division in NXT and I'm thinking, wow, it's really, really special. But I'm looking at the main roster and I'm just kind of scratching my head. And then I see these guys, their release request gets rejected. It just sucks overall. And guys, that brings us to our final story. WWE brand split pay-per-views. This could be the absolute solution to absolutely everything. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, we have been talking about this for months, that WWE was rumored to bring back the brand split pay-per-views. And here's the really good news. We're starting to get some information from credible sources that are telling the world, hey, this could very well happen. Worked Wrestling on Twitter dropped a tweet. One format discussed after the announcement of the draft and the introduction of the new World Heavyweight Championship on WWE Raw is the idea of a potential brand split exclusive premium live monthly events. It's about damn time. Listen, tag team division separated, women's division separated, right? Then you have the world champions separated. Then you have NXT talent getting called up, and what I would like to call NXT would be a free agent pool. So if you're not getting drafted to WWE Raw or SmackDown at any point in time, Raw or SmackDown executives, whoever's running the shows in kayfabe, needs to make those kayfabe signings, right? Raw signs this person. And if you're the WWE, you got to make it a big deal. You got to treat it like a sport. This is two different sports teams, And in a sense, that's what it needs to be. WWE bringing back brand split pay-per-views solves one major problem as well. A lot of people on Twitter are saying, well, WWE already made the new World Heavyweight Championship belt feel inferior to Roman Reigns' championship. And that has always been the case. Every single time there's ever been a brand split with two world titles, there's always been one that's been a little bit more elevated than the other. We've seen this time and time again. It happened, right? A lot of people said the same thing when Big E held the title. I didn't necessarily agree, but people were saying that. When you have a brand split pay-per-view and you have one world champion, one U.S. title, one tag team champion, one women's champion, right? Then those championship belts, in my opinion, feel elevated because they're exclusive to that premium live event. So I'm hoping Adam Pearce, or however the draft goes down, I really hope WWE knocks it out of the park. But I'm hoping that WWE does have two authority figures. They don't need to be on-screen GMs all the time, but Adam Pearce needs to stay on Raw or SmackDown, and then somebody else needs to do it for the other show. Then they need to explain on the draft, we're doing brand split pay-per-views. These championship belts are going to this show. You know, we got to start making the draft feel really special again, man. This is the way to do it. This will help the WWE product tremendously. I want to know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.